So we got some more insight on our Transformers Legacy Target exclusive Red Cog. A little more information, a little more photography, some great insight on what those accessories are and how they apply fictionally and what's going on here. I'm very excited about this because these accessory packs, like I said before, are going to serve a lot of different purposes in the long run when you really think about it. If we keep getting more of these, just the ability to somehow be supplements to characters and product that probably didn't meet the budget constraints that they could of their price point. So getting like I've said before, having a Cheetor character and not being able to have the budget to have all of his accessories and weapons, and thus being able to have a supplemental material down the line that could do that, which normally in the past would have only been reserved to like third-party upgrade kits. So that's a really cool thing. So what we know right now of the Red Cog, we don't have a release date just yet. That's going to be coming up later. We don't have a price. All we know really is that it looks like it's in a deluxe class price. It's in a deluxe kind of box. The listing that we saw back in January of early this year had a $31.49 price point in Target's computers, but that's here nor there. No confirmed 100% that applies to this specific item. Hasbro designer Mark Mayer, he did a fantastic photo shoot as well as some, I guess we'll call it a PSA of what's going to be happening with this Red Cog, how the packaging in the future is going to be for specific Transformer product, what some of these accessories are in their history, who designed them. Really cool stuff here. Again, shout out to Mark Mayer. I really liked his very transparent approach to letting us know what's going on from a design point with the Transformer world, and I appreciate that. And we're going to jump into that and really break it down. So Mark showed us the packaging itself. It does look like a deluxe price point, but we don't know how much that's going to cost. Could be a Armada Laserbeak situation where it looks like it's a deluxe price point, but when you ring it up, it might be a little more because of the little extra bells and whistles that come with it. Kind of like, again, a Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, where it's a deluxe price point, but the figure itself, but all the extra accessories boost it up to a higher price point. And considering it's an exclusive and it's kind of a one-shot kind of thing, at least in the case of the case assortment, it's probably going to have its own unique price for a Target exclusive. Now, the accessories that were shown here, he shows us that what's going to be happening in the future, at least in the case of this one, because of all the accessories included, is they're going to be wrapped in some kind of, like, I guess we could call it tissue paper or shipping paper, and it's going to be put at the bottom of the packaging. The tissue paper, obviously, to prevent it from being loud and rattling around, but also a way to kind of confine it. This is part of Hasbro's new initiative to, again, phase out any kind of plastics. And the old baggies that used to hold your accessories or even your instructions or your trading cards back in the day are part of that plastic removal initiative. So instead of having that plastic, you're just going to have, again, a tissue paper that's recyclable and biodegradable and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Again, they're just letting you know, like, hey, when you open up your Transformers, be sure to check the bottom, because that's where we're going to keep our accessories now, and hopefully they won't get lost. And also, I think it's another way to prevent theft, because I haven't experienced this personally, but people have been telling me that a lot of the accessories that are now kind of, I guess, tie wrapped down onto the card itself, people are just kind of putting their fingers inside the packaging now that there's no window and just stealing accessories, stealing heads. I haven't seen it personally, but I've heard a lot of reports of it. Apparently, a lot of Blue Streaks missing their heads, a lot of Cyberverse Cheetors missing their swords and stuff like that. I really hope that's not happening in mass quantity. But anyways, so now he breaks down also everything that's happening with the accessories, except for one, but it's pretty obvious what that other one is, and I'll get into it in a moment. So he breaks down all the accessories, what they imply, what they're trying to channel, and where they kind of fit in. I mean, you could use your own imagination, but he actually kind of explains, because Shogo Hisui was the one who designed all of these accessories. And Shogo Hisui, for people who aren't familiar with him, he's the guy who practically reinvented the masterpiece Transformers. He started with MP10 and then went into all those amazing Autobot cars with Lambor and the Datsuns and Wheeljack and Soundwave. The guy's a legend, super amazing, probably one of the best Transformer designers in the world. And he did this accessory pack, so that's pretty cool. He also worked on some kind of Combiner Wars stuff, and it kind of channels into some of the stuff that was done here because of that Combiner Wars kind of origin, at least with one of the accessories. So one of the first ones that Mark showed us was that one of the little guns that, while it could be a modulator kind of thing where you could put kind of different barrels on the guns, the hilt of the gun itself, when it's just the hilt, could be put on the back of RC, specifically Earthrise RC, and then you could attach Cog, be it the Red Cog himself or the original Siege Cog, and reenact that episode 5 scene where Cog became the dual blaster weaponizer kind of gimmick that RC had on her shoulders. And that's pretty cool that they kind of add this little extra piece that then makes that a reality. So that obviously that piece too could also be interchange with different kind of barrels and make all kinds of different kind of guns. Like they said before, there's going to be all these different, interchangeable pieces and accessories to create 9 different rollouts, if you will, as they said. It's 3 different hilts, 3 different barrels, which makes 9 different kinds of guns that could be made. There's obviously predetermined ways that they could be made based on stuff, and we're going to get into that with the next one here, because we also have another gun that, while it could have the 3 different barrels, it looks like a shotgun, a long barrel, and a machine gun. And if you take one of the hilts with the long barrel, it actually is Elita 1's long-barreled sniper rifle. So that's a second accessory that the Elita 1 toys didn't have, be it the Netflix version or the soon-to-be coming up version that we have from Legacy. Obviously, the photos that Mark is showing here is that of the Legacy version, but obviously this is something that's intended to be used with your Netflix Siege version to kind of reenact that Siege episode where she has the long-range barrel. I believe it was episode 6, I want to say. I could be wrong there. They also include the repair gun that Ratchet uses to repair Impactor, so that's really cool too. You could attach some blast accessories to the end there to kind of have that extra little photography awesomeness. So that's awesome also. And then they include a whole bunch of other guns, and he kind of intends like one of these machine guns to kind of be an homage to one. He calls it a tribal shotgun, and supposedly the tribal shotgun that Hisui designed is intended to be kind of an homage to Streetwise's Combiner Wars weapon, because he worked on a lot of those Combiner Wars stuff, so kind of like plays into that a little bit. And then another one of the accessories is this little grenade. Now, this grenade was used in multiple episodes in Transformers War for Cybertron Siege, and it was also used, the same model was used in Transformers Prime by Wheeljack. So it kind of is a double duty thing where if you want to complete your awesome Wheeljack figure that you bought more than a decade ago, you could get these accessories. And what's cool about it is the grenade itself also splits in half and has peg points on it, both male and female, that could then be pegged all over the figure and could be used as also armor or something like that. We've seen it in some of the images with the Red Cog, how they attached it to the chest. But you could take those 2 halves, put them together, and have a little grenade accessory too. Another one that they have here, and they didn't really cover, but they have this little Energon, tube as we call it. And that's also a throwback to episode 5. It's the Energon, the Autobot Energon supply that RC was carrying with Bumblebee when they were going to go meet Soundwave. Now, you only get one of them here. RC, I think, had 3 in her arms. But again, that's a nice little extra touch that there's all this kind of like stuff that's these little accessories that add to the background and to the flavor of the Transformers War for Cybertron Siege series, and in the future probably other episodes and stuff like that, to just like, again, complete your photography, complete your characters, add that little extra. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you would normally only see with more high-end stuff like Masterpieces, where there's accessories that are used for that one scene, and you usually don't display your figure with it, but you appreciate the effort because it works good for photography and mixing and matching with other characters. They're kind of doing that here too, where this was stuff that your Earthrise RC probably would have not come with that extra piece for the cog to make the weaponizer, shoulder cannon. It would have not come with the Autobot Energon supply. It would have not come with all of those things because it wouldn't have fit within the budget of the deluxe price point. But it works here where it could be made in post. It could be made way later. all done on one sprue and then painted up nicely. They show the 2 tones of gray here and everything, and all the different paint decos that are done here, which is fantastic too, because it also tells us that we could get a nice variety of weapons that don't have to just be one color like we saw with past accessory sets where they kind of had to really stick to one kind of color. Here there actually is a bit of a paint budget, so you could kind of take stuff that, yeah, it could all be molded in one color, but then you could paint something up and get a whole new kind of look and accessory out of it. And that's very, very exciting. I love what I see here. Hopefully we'll learn more about it. Again, these are all 5mm point posts for everything, which is pretty much the standard with Transformers right now. And hopefully Mark will post some amazing stuff more and give us more insight on our Transformer product. But again, awesome stuff, Mark. Really looking forward to this. Looks fantastic. I really like it. I don't know why, just the grenades and the energon supply, just that alone does it for me. Just because you have that more, I guess, passive kind of accessories that are something that's not just a gun pointing in a direction. It's something that can be held and creates a lot of character for photography. I love it. Let me know what you think, guys. Hopefully we'll get some more information in the future. This week is not over, and we're already stacked with Transformer news.